marked envelope, which in turn is inserted into a bigger envelope which has the details of the voter. The purpose of the envelopes are to ensure that we can verify that only persons who have been approved to vote by special vote have voted, but also to ensure the secrecy of the vote by delinking the vote from the voter. Voting stations will open at 9 o'clock in the morning and will close at 5 o'clock for both home visits and for station visits. People who are at the queue at the close of stations will be assisted. Following the conclusion of voting day on the 27th and on the 28th, the ballot boxes, together in their envelopes, will be transported for safe storage over the night of the 27th and on the 28th. This is so because the special votes are not counted separately on those days. They will be transported for safe storage, reintroduced at the voting station on the 29th, verification undertaken before they are included in the count once all the stations have closed. We remind the South African voters that there will be 3 ballots in these elections. The first is a national ballot, which has 52 political parties. The parties are set out in 2 columns. Again, we remind voters to only make a mark against a single party. The second will be a regional ballot for seats in the National Assembly. Again, parties will be set out one after the other on ballot, and voters are urged to only make 1 ballot. The third ballot is for election to choose members of the provincial legislatures. Again, voters are urged to only make a mark against a single party. Measures have been put in place to ensure that persons who live with disabilities can still vote in conditions of relative dignity and without disclosing their choice to anyone. Working together with the South African National Council for the Blind, we have developed a voting aid which we call a universal ballot template. For persons who can read Braille, they can be able to vote without disclosing their choice of candidate or party. For those with unsteady hand, they will be able to use the universal ballot template to also make their mark without disclosing their choice or relying on companions for assistance. We call on all registered South Africans to, ahead of going to stations, to check whether they are presenting at the correct voting station. To do so, a voter may send their ID number to this SMS number, 32810. They will receive a response confirming the voting station at which they are registered. Persons can also visit our website or call the contact center at 0800 11 8000. Earlier today, the Commission released a statement at which it registered its displeasure with conduct of certain party members at one of its storage facilities, where a storage facility was run over by supporters of MK Party, and they started interfering in an unauthorized and unlawful manner with the handling of materials at that storage site. We wish to clarify that the videos depict a planned logistical arrangement. In other words, ballots were transported closer to their point of their use to increase the chances that voting stations will open on time, because materials are stored very close to where they will be used. The planned security measures were that trucks distributing ballots were escorted by members of the South African Police Service to a local storage site. These storage sites are guarded on a 24-hour basis so that we can guarantee that the ballots are safeguarded and only persons who have the requisite authority gain entry into those sites, and to avert burglaries and tampering of electoral materials. The Commission also notes the threats that have been directed at the staff of the Electoral Commission and some of the commissioners. The Commission further notes an incident in eThekwini where a presiding officer was woken at home in the middle of the night in order to accompany those people who accosted them to a storage site where the commission held its material. And that station, or the storage site, is the Baptist Church voting station in Chesterville. At that site, we had sought out voting booths, voting station signage banners, as well as unfolded ballot boxes. No ballot papers were at that site. It was just the bulk material that supports the election. We reaffirm again that it is part of the logistical plan for the Commission to deliver bulk material to voting stations ahead of Election Day. This is meant to ensure that voting stations open on time and only security material gets delivered directly to voting station on the voting day. The Commission strongly condemns threats to its staff and that no party nor any representative of a party has authority to gain access to the facilities of the Electoral Commission or to accost electoral staff at their private residences. We call on all South Africans to come out in numbers and exercise their democratic rights to vote. We further continue to call on all citizens, media members, and political party leaders to set a good example and foster an electoral environment based on trust, integrity, and respect for all. We declare our readiness to receive the 1.7 million persons who've been approved to vote by special vote tomorrow. Thank you very much.
Thank you, DCO Shiburi. I'm going to open the floor for questions, if there are any. I've got my colleagues on the floor. You introduce yourself and the media house you represent, and then we'll be able to deal with those issues. The statement is available on all platforms of the Electoral Commission. DCO looks like we're good to go. I don't see any hands. Okay, there.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon. My name is Ngosi Mpumalanga from Power FM. Just one quick question. Is there any repercussions for some of the incidents that have been mentioned and the individuals involved? Thank you very much.
All right, looks like that's the only hand. DCO, as you respond, will be wrapping up the press briefing. Busy 3 days ahead. DCO Shiburi.
Thank you. Indeed, there are repercussions. The actions as captured and depicted on the video footage constitute electoral offenses, but they also constitute interference with the work of the Electoral Commission. The Commission is in touch with the party. It is also in touch with the South African police services, which are responsible for the safekeep of order during the election process. We should, in the next briefing, be able to indicate the specific steps that the Commission has taken to deal with the incidents. Thank you very much.